Alright, we are here with Ral Storm Conduit. I've played it before, and I want to play it again. It takes extra turns. That's what I like to do with it, with the -2. It's a 4 mana, 4 loyalty. Every time you cast or copy something, you ping your opponent or a planeswalker. +2 is a scry 2, or excuse me, it's a scry 1. And then the -2 is a copy a spell that you're about to cast, right? Copy the next spell. So, we like to copy Time Warp, all the other extra turns, Karn's Temporal Sundering, it's a tongue twister. Alchemist Gambit as well, I have it in here. I think this is kind of just fine. It's at 7 mana, but okay. I'm running Mox Amber, usually don't run that with, excuse me, commanders that cost like more than 2, but this does kind of, it's just kind of fine to play Mox Amber on turn like 5 or even 6, and you can just play a 7 drop because of that. I think that's just kind of fine, right? Obviously Ragavan, Strike It Rich. The other discounters, we have Baral and the Electromancer. I had, what is it, Firemind's Vessel, the 4 mana rock that taps for 2. This is basically the same thing, except it has like an additional clause to do other degenerate stuff, so I think it makes sense to run this. I can't imagine flipping this too often, but it's been a while since I've played it, and I kind of just want to play it, so it's in here. A bunch of counter spells and whatnot. The Frogifies that I think are worth running, which is this one, and there's another one in here. I don't know. You know what they are. I don't have to explain them. I'm running Confounding Conundrum because Pock is literally everywhere. Green is the strongest color. That doesn't mean this just completely solos your green opponents, though. And, you know, certain games against Pock, you won't even draw it anyways. But I think it's probably fine just because it replaces itself. I don't hate it. It's not the worst thing to be casting. You would prefer a rock on turn 2 because you got a 4 mana commander, but I mean, why not? Why not try it? I had As Foretold in here for a second, but the more I looked at it, the more I think I can kind of not really exploit that card. It's kind of hard to exploit that card. Your deck needs to be probably slower than this. We have the treasure card draw generators because you don't just have to copy a extra turn. You can copy whatever you want. So copying something that generates a bunch of treasures is also pretty decent, right? That's really about it. I think the weakness here is maybe early green creatures. I don't have a lot of answers to killing Llanowar Elves and stuff, which is something I should probably consider more. But as of now, I'm not. But as we go, I might change that to not get... so I don't just get totally hosed by Llanowar Elves. But, yep, that's it. Let's roll. Alright, yeah, you got it. Let's put this away. It sees the trigger? Oh, come on. It was dead. It's dead. It's dead. Come on, bro. What is that? What is that? What do you even... come on. Really? I should know better. It's a bad... I mean, it's just... that was the penultimate answer to anything I was doing anyways, but... I know, it just... it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I didn't draw a land. I couldn't kill it in a different way. I could have, like, not drawn a card, right, off of the thing. Absolutely should have not, I guess, in hindsight, but... sometimes I want to be stubborn. And just instantly lose to the literal best card of all time. Or at least one of the cards ever printed. Tapped. I'm going to play the Mox Amber as I feel like it's important to not let it get hit by a discard spell. It might be a reasonable thing to do. Alright. I got really nothing going on here. I don't really care at all about Amalia. Like, really at all. But I guess I will just cast my counterspell. But it's not really that amazing. This is the weird one, right? This is the one that, like, blows everything up if it's really big. Okay, I like it. I don't think I've played this one. There's, like, a combo deck in Historic, but you need green. You can't do it here with this card. Like an Explore Spam combo thing, but I can't say I'm too concerned with what's currently happening. Okay, that actually really has no text against us. That kind of does. It's a little annoying. Alright, surely negate is more than enough to keep Ral from perishing a terrible demise here. Tail's End. You know what? I kind of want that, but I also need action. That doesn't really give me any action, so I'm going to go ahead and not keep that. I'm not going to Braid in response to an attack. Obviously, negate is just better. Have at it. Okay, they just play a random 2-mana 2/1. That's kind of cute. Let us kill the Cutthroat. I think I'm actually going to kill this. I'm not too concerned with the Cutthroat killing me. I just can't be convinced. Looks like my opponent has either Swords or Fatal Push. Or something of the sort. I do need to find some action, though. Primal Amulet is a little slow. I don't have much going on. I need action. I'm going to go ahead and crack this now. That, ladies and gentlemen, is action. So, I don't have to tap it. I do not have to tap it. I can just sort of sit here for a while. Okay. You like the Japanese-style land card? Yeah, they're pretty neat. I do like them as well. Oh, look. Oh, this is really good. Oh, yes. Yeah. Taste it. Oh, yes. Yes! Land, that, and this. Kind of have stuff. Not great stuff, but it's those cards. Okay, sure. I think Malcolm is better than Search for Iskanta. Probably. Who knows? I certainly don't. But that's what I've chosen. Luminarch Aspirant, huh? Oh, it's the small Atraxa. Alright, so Malcolm's actually not as good anymore. Malcolm is not as good. That was actually a decent draw. Let's get rid of... Search for Iskanta? It's probably not a game for that at this point. Let's play this as a land that is tapped. And this. Alright, so I can play my commander next turn. Doesn't really do much, though, honestly. Until I deal with this, it doesn't really do anything at all, actually. Malcolm also can't continuously attack my opponent, so it's not gonna, like, flip. Not that it has any crazy hits to do with its own ability anyways, but... Let's get rid of a land, I guess. Let's play you. Play you. Alright, so... It's a lot of damage coming in. I have 6 mana, and I can bounce, like... whatever I want. But I don't think I have... what I need to win this game. My opponent straight up did not cast Atraxa, which I find extremely unusual. Do I need a red source? It's probably safe to get a red source. Okay, I guess I kind of respect this decision. Let us... play you. Swing first. See what happens. I don't even know what I want to bounce, really. Maybe just nothing. Archmage's Charm is alright. I think I can do better. So let's take an extra turn. And bounce your thing that you wanted to cast instead of your commander. Okay. This actually works out really nice. I believe this triggers that. So let's minus, and then big score will be cast off of Malcolm? Unless I hit something even better, which I did not. Alright, so I do this. Cast that. This should, trigger. This should work, right? Yeah, it does. I can take another extra turn here. Should I? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can. I don't think giving my opponent back the turn is that bad anyways. I can chump block, and I have a counterspell, so I'm probably completely fine. I'd rather just, like, maybe copy this with my commander. I do have to cast the cleave thing, or I'll lose the game. That is kind of important. I am not going to tap my blockers. They did put it on top. Interesting. So yeah, we have to chump block this, which is completely fine. Don't really care about that. Go back to our turn. Have to do this now. I can't not, like, I have to cast it for its cleave. I don't think Malcolm circumvents that. I'm going to go ahead and say it doesn't. So, we're going to do this. This does not win the game, though, but it's pretty good. Hard to not do that. Cast you. Scry. Well, I think that does it. I think that does it. Let's get rid of you. Might as well cast it. Why not? And I have an extra turn, right? Alright, yeah, this game's over. I literally wombo comboed my opponent. That's hilarious. I'm not gonna take my time. I'm just gonna show him. Yeah. Nice. Man, this is the best apple juice I've ever had in my life. It's like between cider and not cider. Urabrask is one of the, like, 4 mono-red storm decks, typically. I guess I'll keep this because I have a Disdainful Stroke. Okay. Land would... Yep, alright, land is fine. Alright, strike it rich, and then play island. And then probably Rouse a Wreck next turn, probably. Can't imagine not doing that, but who knows. Opponent could do some weird stuff that bothers me. This kind of bothers me, because now I don't have an answer to their commander if I cast my own. And I'm spending a treasure to cast this, so I don't have this next turn. So I might actually just pass the turn here. Which is kind of miserable, actually. But I have to, like, really respect Urabrask. I'd rather not get hit by it. But being, you know, not tapping mana means my opponent doesn't have to, you know, cast it. I wish I had an instant speed spell to also go with this turn. Okay, they turn their treasure into that. Let's see here. So now I can play Strike It Rich and leave up Disdainful Stroke? Or do I just cast this instead? I think I like my whole hand, so I think I'll just cast this and pass. This is fine. It's kind of awkward, but I mean, it's better than not doing it, probably. I think I'll just get an island. I don't know how much red I need in my deck. It's not that much, but I really don't want to take any extra damage against an Urabrask deck. Do you have a land? I feel like they should have played a land first if they had one. Okay, it's safe to say they probably just didn't have one. I think they have some kind of lightning bolt. I can leave up counterspell, so that's just an excellent position to be in. Their creature can't kill this. I'll take a land here. Well, this is not the matchup for that. This is not the confounding conundrum matchup. An extra turn doesn't even win me the game here. I don't have much else going on, but it's still like a really good thing to do usually. But there might be an argument to just copying this instead, so I just find more things to do. I don't know. I mean, I can maybe sort of do both. I'm going to counter this because my opponent doesn't seem to have lands. This also isn't an Urabrask turn anymore. I think this is fine. Countering card draw is probably fine. Okay, what does this do? Just poke 2? Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't poke 2. This is not the one that makes tokens. This is the one that floats mana and also... Okay. Alright, well, I didn't expect to be able to do literally everything, because this would have dealt 2, but it's not the case. I might even be able to kill Chandra, yeah, before it actually gets to do anything too, which is pretty devastating for my opponent. Oh yeah, this is just super dirty now. Yeah, I also just get to kill Chandra. I don't want those. Also, well, I mean, okay. I don't want those. Alright, that wasn't the best. That wasn't the best. But you know what is pretty good right now is maybe killing this? Feels kind of bad to not play this, though. Yeah, alright, my opponent's just done anyways. Speaking of instantly over games, it's a turn 2 Ragavan on the draw, so this is pretty useless, but whatever. The rest of the hand is fine. Okay, now they just straight up take it. Of course. Why not? They didn't take Ragavan? What are you doing? I have like 3 effective copies of this in my hand. Why don't you just take Ragavan? I'm so confused. Maybe they just needed a mana dork. I highly doubt that, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Ragavan's not going to hit them, but that's just still kind of weird to me. I feel like I would just always take Ragavan anyways, just for the sake of taking it. You could even make Valky a Ragavan, right? Isn't that, like, pretty ideal? Isn't it just cost 1 mana to do that? I would absolutely have stolen Ragavan there. Like, 6 Ways to Sunday is... No way I wouldn't do that. But my opponent didn't. Okay, so let's play... Mana Rock Counterspell? This gives me the option to find... another land to leave up Counterspell on the same turn as this. as this. Oh yeah, I would have so taken Ragavan. In fact, this game would be so insanely different looking if my opponent took Ragavan. Alright, well, I assume there's some kind of answer to this. I don't really know what else I'm doing, though. My hand needs help. And I can just always cast it. Because, again, it's not like I'm doing anything else anyways. Oh, look. Right answer. Wow. So good. Do I cast it again? You know what? I'm going to cast the One Ring this time. And probably not going to tap it, because I have a land drop already. And I'd rather leave up Disdainful Stroke. This game would be completely over if this was Ragavan the whole time. It would have been over. We would have not have had a game here. Solve the equation. What does this do when it enters? Flying, trample, end step, sacrifice 2 non-land, non-tokens. If they don't, you draw. Okay, that's kind of annoying. I guess I just copy my solve the equation twice? And then get wash away in another spell, like an extra turn or something? Time warp. Maybe one of these. Just a treasure spamming card is fine as well. Yeah, let's take Big Score and Wash Away. I can set up a pretty decent line with that, so why not? And my opponent just has more perfect 6-drops out of hand. Yep. Okay, you got it. Why not? Okay, so if I cast this, it dies every single time. This is 1, 2, 3 plus 4, so I want to play an untapped land. And then double Big Score, I guess. Well, Feign Death isn't doing anything. My opponent just played that in the face of a wash away. I didn't expect that. It does mean I can't copy Big Score, so maybe I'm just, like, not casting it here? Does this have an ultimate? Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna cast it. So I need 6 plus something significant. This is any target, right? So I can do it for 1, 2... Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can kill Chandra. Oh, whoops. Hold on. 4. So I do it for 6. Like that. And then 8. Like that. Actually, hold on. Wait a minute. I should kill the Mana Dork. Okay, my opponent's done. I think my opponent saw me playing like a big X spell and assumed they couldn't beat it no matter what. But yeah, blowing these two up means I'm super far ahead, right? Like they're not casting this for a while. This isn't dying to trigger itself. The Feign Death cannot be cast currently. No 1-drop. We're back in it. Of course. I feel like I really should keep this card, which feels really bad, but whatever. Yep. Confounding Conundrum, turn too late. This is why this card kind of, you know, sucks in every single way, but it's in my deck, so I have to play it. Oh, it did work. Wow. Unbelievable. It actually did something. Am I going to play Baral Washaway? I guess. That is actually super useful. Okay, so do I play my commander? Probably? It does have a lot of loyalty. It can be pretty difficult to, you know, kill and stuff, so... It does mean I'm kind of shields down, though. Maybe it's wrong. But it's too late. Okay, I'll take Tails in and I will not attack. Alright. I need you to not have something, which is probably not super likely, but whatever. Alright, that could have been worse. Is this the uncounterable one? Yep, of course it is. Oh, we lose our... Wait. No, this doesn't do anything. Okay. Well, you did it, opponent. You shut me down. Time for me to copy, seize the spoils, discarding probably a land. Oh wait, they didn't shut me down, because Ral attacks Planeswalkers. I keep forgetting Ral's pings can attack Planeswalkers. I keep forgetting that. I guess I foretell, and... No, you know, I'm going to leave up 2 counterspells. I was going to do that. It's a pretty tall ask for my opponent to kind of play the game through that, so... So they can kill Ralzarak, but who cares? Or rather, they can put it to 2, and then I just do the dumb thing, and... probably win the game. Probably makes sense to cast this. Okay, so I get rid of you and probably negate. Can probably do better than that. Okay, I didn't necessarily do better than that, but... Yeah, I don't have much other than interaction, but that's fine. I can do better than Lightning Bolt. Probably. Alright. Not the most exciting 2 extra turns, but we are still pretty far ahead because of that. I think. I don't know, I have a lot of stuff in play. I'd rather, like, draw 4 off of the charm than use it as a counterspell. Alright. Opponent got Schmieded there with the old counterspell. They could just recast it next turn, but we're going to Archmage's Charm and draw a bunch of cards, and it's probably going to be pretty difficult for them to really do anything. Wow, Pock with no relevant 1-drop. That is insane. I can't leave up anything with my Wooded Foothills, but I'm just going to cast it anyways, or play it. I'm not leaving up anything. Can I stop a... No, I can't. Okay. My opponent had no 2-drop as Pock. That is probably a very bad idea. I don't think you want to try to do that as Pock. Okay, I don't need that. Yeah, this is actually completely insane to me. Well, there's no Ulamog this game, if that would have mattered. It probably won't, but... Do I want to cast this? I really want to cast this. I want to cast Cultivate. And you can't stop me. Oh, man, that's great. Okay, yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, that's pretty neat, huh? Look at that. Love to see it. Come on, let me win. Let me beat Pock, please. No, they have a cavern. Or it's actually fine. That's actually fine. I can still witness protection it. Well, that is pretty tragic. Well, I mean, you just played the shaman, didn't? Wait, my opponent just didn't cast Pock. What are you doing? Oh, okay. Sure. Knock yourself out. You got it. Timeless Witness. I will cast that, actually. I will cast that. And I'll pick up Counterspell. Right? Yeah, why not? And then play probably nothing. Yep, I can't counter it. I can't counter it. But hopefully I can just shut it down with the Witness Protection. Okay, it doesn't make sense to do this right now, but my opponent does anyways. Yeah, so I play Primal Amulet. No, I think I play Witness Protection, and I play this, and then I just, like, let Pox sit around, which means I'm not swinging into it, but that's probably fine. Electromancer is probably past a point. Yeah, I just can't let Pock die, because I don't want it to... Well, I don't want it to die. They have to make the 6/6 at sorcery speed, which is pretty nice for us. Rune of Might. Okay, I'm not gonna counter a cycling card. They should probably leave Pock as a blocker, but they don't. That's kind of crazy to me. Maybe there's a way to free it up here. Nope. Okay. Let's see here. So I play this. And... No, I think I'm going to copy Expressive Iteration. This is a sorcery, right? Yep. I think that's fine to copy. You can't really go wrong with it. Put that to my hand. I'm probably going to cast this, so let's put, like, that to my hand. And then... Let's see, if I play this... I can leave up... I can actually spite, and I can leave up Memory Lapse. I guess that's fine. So, is trading Ragavan with this card make any sense? I can't let Timeless Witness die, because then my opponent will also get it. Okay, I don't know if spamming a bunch of random 6/6s is gonna get my opponent out of anything, but I think Ragavan has ran his course. I'm just gonna use him to do things. So we do this, we do that. Alright, the One Ring isn't bad. It's not bad. The 6/6 is kind of problematic, but it's not the complete end of the world. But they didn't do it last turn, which is interesting. Okay, well, don't really want to deal with that. Yes! Yeah! We beat Pock. I actually beat Pock. Oh, look, turn 1 mana dork on the play. Well, this game is probably over. I lost access to Ragavan. I guess I can counteract their mana dork, at least with it. It'd be kind of outlandish for them to let me hit them, but I don't know. Probably already lost this game. It's kind of hedging on that Ragavan being relevant. They could maybe let me hit them and just cast a ramp spell and be kind of fine, right? They might not even care. Appears to be the case. Oh, they Leyline Binding. Really? Wouldn't you just, like, not... I feel like I kind of win out in that exchange. I feel like I'm not upset with this exchange here. I don't know. This is kind of weird. I did not expect Ragavan to be able to do something like that after having resolved, but okay. No counter spell. So Power Stone into who knows what. This does give my opponent Kenrith access and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I would have dealt with the Ragavan like that. This is an instant speed card. You don't have to... You can just wait and see what happens. But my opponent just didn't do that. Well, assuming nothing else crazy happens, I can kind of just deal with Kenrith and play. It's just a 5/5. It doesn't really do anything that I'm concerned with. But I do need to get things going, which means I need them to not have more removal for my artifacts. And for them to maybe play a bit faster. Okay, this reduces Kenrith's costs activations. And then you can put counters on Agatha to make them cheaper. And then spam them. That's kind of cute. They didn't have a land, so they can't give this haste. So if I do play my commander, it might actually be safe. It also might not be. Can I play anything else first? No, not really. No. Well, nothing that I want to play, so if you kill this, so be it. I don't even know if I need it for this situation, although it would have been nice to cast something else instead if that were the case, but I didn't. At least I can maybe scry a land to the top. A land is pretty useful here. No, somewhat. I did find a land. It's well, something I'm not too upset with, I guess. We'll see what happens here. But my opponent, again, did not play a land. Oh, wow. Rift. You got it. 1 of you 4. 5, 6. Okay. So probably copying... I'm not even sure. Yet again, not swinging with Elvish Mystic. Oh, not swinging with anything. Oh, wait, what's this? Alright, there we go. Opponent figured it out. Play this, and then... plus it again. Opponent was willing to let me have this option. But Kenrith next turn does not have any abilities unless they draw another land. And then it kind of does. So I guess it just boils down to, do they draw another land or not? I could just do this and copy it. Is that just better? It guarantees that this dies. I'm so not doing that. I'm not doing that. Another land is fine. I don't see why I shouldn't just cast this at this point. Pretty sure the Seek actually stays on top of my library. This Seek doesn't do anything unless I specifically shuffle. Alright, I should have cast a choice first then. Alright, guess it just didn't end up getting punished too bad for it then. That's fine. Alright, so I need you to not have an untapped land in your 5-color deck. Alright, they do not, so no haste, so we get to keep our Ral. And now we're in a really, 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 really good spot. So can I cast this first? I can. All these clicking and up and down, you actually give your opponent an extra turn? Certainly possible. I've done dumber. Thank the 9 Divine, my opponent does not have a way to hold priority this entire time. I would be suffering really bad right now. I think I will just cast this. Could wait. No, we're just going to cast it. And I think I just straight win. Oh no, I can't. I can't do this again. So I scry 1 to the bottom, and then this twice. No, it doesn't get me there, does it? No, it doesn't. Sure. My opponent still has to somehow not die to this iteration, though. So we scry this card to the bottom. And how do we get to this approach? I cast this. And then I have 1, 2, 3... Oh, no, I have it. I have it. This just kills my opponent. Wow. That's a dirty string of cards. Oh, no, I lost the discount. I lost the discount because I flipped the thing. Never mind, I don't have it. I don't have it. Oh, no. Treasure. And kill that. And I'll get a treasure. This just sets my opponent back some mana. They can't spam infinite like these two because it still requires color. This does not discount the color portion of it, right? So I think it makes sense to kill this instead just because of that. Choking them on mana is way more important than choking them on Kenrith activations. Alright. There's almost nothing my opponent could have to stop me, but there are things that do stop me. But it has to get through a change the equation. I'm going to fight over this. I am going to fight over this. I'd rather have 2 sources of white mana, right? Like, now they have to deal with the key and the treasure, because the treasure can tap for white as well. Does this tap for white? Oh, the Primal Wellspring taps for white. I didn't have to really protect that for any reason then. That would require specifically like Casualties of War. Actually, 2 of them are artifacts, so that also isn't good enough. It's possible. There have been missing land drops, so I imagine there's a bunch of interaction. They have not conceded the game yet, so there must be something going on that might be pretty bad for us. You cannot copy you can't copy and approach the Second Sun, though. It does not work. I'm gonna look for something. I don't have a way to get this out of my graveyard if it doesn't work. I don't know in what world I don't cast it anyways. I don't have another instant or sorcery. It's fine to just tap the Primal Well. Okay. But getting a second one of these doesn't actually do anything. They did have interaction. Alright. Well, I mean, it would make sense, right? They countered the wrong one! They countered the wrong one! Oh no! Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me make sure. So it's kind of weird. Yeah, my opponent just misclicked there. They absolutely could have stopped this. Now, are they going to win this game? I don't know. We're both in kind of like a top deck mode. Kenrith is pretty difficult to deal with at this point. I don't have much of an answer, but a search for Iskanta is really, really good against them. But I'm probably not recasting Rowzerek because it looks like it might just die. But, yeah. Alright. Oh, look. Oh, this is really good. Oh, yes. Yeah. Taste it. Oh, yes. Yes! Land, that, and this. Kind of have stuff. Not great stuff, but it's those cards. Okay, sure. I think Malcolm is better than Search for Iskanta. Probably. Who knows? I certainly don't. But that's what I've chosen. Luminarch Aspirant, huh? Oh, it's the small Atraxa. Alright, so Malcolm's actually not as good anymore. Malcolm is not as good. That was actually a decent draw. Let's get rid of... Search for Iskanta? It's probably not a game for that at this point. Let's play this as a land that is tapped. And this. Alright, so I can play my commander next turn. Doesn't really do much, though, honestly. Until I deal with this, it doesn't really do anything at all, actually. Malcolm also can't continuously attack my opponent, so it's not going to, like, flip. Not that it has any crazy hits to do with its own ability anyways, but... Let's get rid of a land, I guess. Let's play you. Play you. Alright, so... It's a lot of damage coming in. I have 6 mana, and I can bounce, like... whatever I want. But I don't think I have... what I need to win this game. My opponent straight up did not cast Atraxa, which I find extremely unusual. Do I need a red source? It's probably safe to get a red source. Okay, I guess I kind of respect this decision. Let us... play you. Swing first. See what happens. I don't even know what I want to bounce, really. Maybe just nothing. Archmage's Charm is alright. I think I can do better. So let's take an extra turn. And bounce your thing that you wanted to cast instead of your commander. Okay. This actually works out really nice. I believe this triggers that. So let's minus, and then Big Score will be cast off of Malcolm? Unless I hit something even better, which I did not. Alright, so I do this. Cast that. This should trigger. This should work, right? Yeah, it does. I can take another extra turn here. Should I? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can. I don't think giving my opponent back the turn is that bad anyways. I can chump block and I have a counterspell, so I'm probably completely fine. I'd rather just, like, maybe copy this with my commander. I do have to cast the cleave thing or I'll lose the game. That is kind of important. I am not going to tap my blockers. They did put it on top. Interesting. So yeah, we have to chump block this, which is completely fine. Don't really care about that. Go back to our turn. Have to do this now. I can't not, like, I have to cast it for its cleave. I don't think Malcolm circumvents that. I'm going to go ahead and say it doesn't. So, we're going to do this. This does not win the game, though, but it's pretty good. Hard to not do that. Cast you. Scry. Well, I think that does it. I think that does it. Let's get rid of you. Might as well cast it. Why not? And I have an extra turn, right? Alright, yeah, this game's over. I literally wombo comboed my opponent. That's hilarious. I'm not gonna take my time, I'm just gonna show him. Yeah. Nice. Okay. So I really like Ral Storm Conduit. Played it before. It was pretty good then, and it's gotten a couple new cards. I think Brainstorm should have been in here. I know we have actual fetch lands now, and there's some other things that are just fine with it. Brainstorm as is decent as well, just without a fetch without a fetch land anyways. But I think Brainstorm is just something that might want to be in here. But other than that card, everything else was fine. Maybe the Frogifies felt a little loose sometimes. It just never had a chance to cast it. Kind of gets in the way of casting a ramp spell or leaving up counter magic. It can be a little annoying. But it's still kind of fine. You could make the argument to just running more burn style removal effect things, because you can copy those with Ral. You can't copy like Frogify. You know, you can't eat something twice with Piranhas, only once. So that's meh. But it's not too difficult at all to kind of just pop off with this, right? You can even just not cast this. I made this mistake a couple times. If you can consider it a mistake, but casting Ral when I have like 11 mana, so I can use it the same turn I would cast one of these. That would be nice, right? Just like on turn 9, just use it with Time Warp at the same turn and not risk it dying. But it does basically have 6 loyalty when it enters. And if it enters on turn 3 because of a rock, it's actually kind of just fine. It's just totally fine. We beat Pock. That's notable. That doesn't usually happen. And I actually did beat Pock. It's pretty sweet. Change the Equation, I think, is a... I think Change the Equation at this point is probably an auto-include in any blue deck that wants to run interaction like this, like counterspells. I think Change the Equation is just an auto-include now. The format is just so predominantly green, it's not even funny. It's just so green, it's crazy. And it also hits red, right? So it's not all in on one color. It does hit red. And it counters everything 0, 1, and 2. Like, every deck has something that this will hit. And it has upside against green decks and red decks. I keep forgetting. Every time I think about it, it's like, oh yeah, it also does red. Who cares? But most of the red spells aren't even more than 2 mana anyways. It's all like aggro. But it hoses green stuff pretty decently. I think it's probably like one of the first... If you, say, have 6, it's probably with one of the first 6 you choose before... Like, if you had 10 counterspells and you wanted to shave some, I think it's in the top 6, maybe top even 7 before I would choose to take this out. I would take something else out, you know, to get down to 7 counterspells, is my logic, or something like that. Definitely top 5 at least. I think this could have been maybe sorcery. I know there's what is it? The 4 mana deal 4. It's the red Languish. Instead of counters its damage. The problem with those, and the Hour of Devastation, and the other Burn Down the House, I think it is, Burn Down the House. The problem is it kind of kills your own Ral, so it's not great, right? This kind of sort of circumvents it. It just doesn't hit any moderately sized things. But the larger something is, the more likely you are to deal with it with a counterspell. The smaller things, you're like kind of hoping to kill with random splash damage, maybe block with a Baral forever, or like ping away or something like that, or trade with a Ragavan even. But the bigger things you kind of have covered, so that wasn't too big of a deal, right? We even have a Spiteful Banditry. Shatter Skull smashing actually came up twice, which is funny. It usually doesn't ever do anything, but this game this commander it actually did. Same with Seagate Restoration. I came close to casting this twice, and both times it just didn't end up coming out to be the right thing to do, but it came close. Primal Amulet is pretty difficult to flip, I noticed. I don't think I played this the last time I played Ralzarek. It's been a long time. It was like half a year ago since I played it, but I don't know if Primal Amulet is super great, but it is a discounter, and it's totally fine as a pseudo mana rock, and like you might as well run it. The top part of it is fine with like this maybe sort of bottom part coming up at some point, but even if it doesn't, like I don't hate this card. Obviously Ragavan is stupid. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Banned myself from complaining about it. The extra turn on 7 is decent. I don't hate it, right? Epiphany exiles. Does this exile? It does exile, okay. But I did cast it, right? And when I did cast it, I basically won every time. If you copy an extra turn, I don't think there was a single game where I copied extra turns and still had lost. Yeah, I think every time I took 2 extra turns, I won. It's extremely difficult to, like, lose when you do that, right? If you cast Time Stretch, you probably win the game. So it probably makes sense to run all of that style. I mean, that's the whole point of this, right? Taking extra turns. Malcolm was a seriously good addition to this. I really like this card. Sometimes they don't have an answer to this, and you can just straight scam people, right? You can even use this and cast Ral -2 it, and then, like, you know, having had this alive for long enough, copy whatever it discards. You don't have to cast it out of hand, just the next spell, and that actually happened in a game, which is really funny. This could risk dying to One Ring, because taking a bunch of extra turns and drawing a bunch of cards, you can die, but it's still pretty hard to die to this. But if you find yourself with that happening, you could just run a couple things to bounce it back to your own hand, or exile it. I think there's a red spell that exiles an artifact. You could run that as well, or just into the royal, into the royal, something like that. Or, you know, just kill your opponent because you're drawing 14 cards. But yeah, I like this strategy. I like it. I think this is just decent. I'm surprised I haven't seen anyone play this in a significant amount of time. It's been a while since I've seen anyone play it, but if you're looking for something blue-red to play that isn't like creature-centric, I'd play this. I recommend it. So let me know what you thought about it. If you have Ral Storm Conduit ideas, leave them down in the comments. And like and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.